all right, so what inspired me to even go in this direction of this new paradigm? Honestly, the old one was killing me, like both literally and figuratively. I feel like I'm a smart woman, and I'm very efficient. Like, I don't want to learn things the hard way. I don't want to work hard, I want to work smart. And so when I hire coaches or consultants or experts, or when I did the past at least, you know, I see the tremendous value in that because they've already made the mistakes and they've already gotten to a level of success that I have not, or at least I thought they did. So when I hired them, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can shave off years. So when I hire someone, I'm going to follow what they say. I'm a big believer in emulate before you innovate. And so I emulated my little heart out, and I followed those traditional playbooks for years. And I was grinding it out, right? I was doing what all the experts said would work. I was hustling nonstop, sacrificing my health, my relationships, my sense of self, until it all came crashing down. Several years ago, my business went insolvent. My business collapsed. And with it, every single thing that I had worked so hard to build came crashing down as well. And at that point in my life, it was really surreal. It was so surreal for me that this occurred. I was financially, emotionally, and spiritually just bankrupt. I was empty. It was a moment for me of total devastation. I talk all about it in my book, Insolvent, and what I learned from it, because it was actually, of course, it was the greatest gift that ever happened to me. It was just very painful. But it was also the wake-up call that I didn't even know I needed. It was that big of a wake-up call to me. Because in that rock bottom moment, I realized something fundamental. I was not the only problem. I definitely take responsibility and personal responsibility for like the lessons I needed to learn and how I bought into it. But that's not why the business crashed. The problem was the system. The traditional entrepreneurship model was not designed for mavericks and visionaries like me, who are meant to come into the world and innovate, break new paradigms open, shatter the norms, create new ways of being and doing and technologies and solutions in the world. It just is not made for people like us. It was built to reward conformity, not creativity. Once I realized, like, it was gone, like that company was gone, and I was having a dark night of the soul. And once I started to come out of it and realize that I couldn't lay down here forever, right? Like, I can't just lay down and boo-hoo my way through this. I had to do something. And I had to rebuild because I'm not employable, right? Like, I wasn't going to go back and get a job in corporate America. Like, that's not happening. So if I had to rebuild, though, I absolutely was not going to do it this. I could not use the same broken tools and systems and instructions that had failed me in the first place. So I started developing a new way of doing business. And the first thing that I did was I stopped following everyone. I stopped studying my industry completely. No more podcasts, no more coaches, no more courses, no more seminars, no more. I had to not rely on any of the information that I'd been previously shared with. I had to actually completely go back and pull myself back and get clear within myself so that I could bring this to market. So I started developing this new way, again, not just for myself, but for others like me, the people who are visionaries, disruptors, kind of our misfits of our market. And the more that I dug into my actual purpose on earth, because I did have that moment of like, why am I even here? Like, I felt like this business that I was building, I felt like it was bigger than me. It wasn't just that I could make a bunch of money. I felt like I was here to do work in the world, meaningful work that was meant to leave a mark. I'd known since I was 16 years old that I was clear that I wanted to leave this world a better way than I came into it. If nothing else, in some small way, I wanted to leave the world a better way. And so I did. I started digging into my purpose, and I got clear on what I was really here to do, and worked with a shaman deeply for years and still do. And the more that everything began to pour out of me, and the more that I got clear and kind of like took my head out of this fog that I was in and started really aligning to truth and to giving myself space to kind of allow myself to be a vessel. So for those of you who channel, you know what I'm talking about. Allow myself to be a vessel to bring things in. The more that things just began pouring out of me. I could not stop writing, building, and refining this new paradigm. So over 2 years, I stayed behind the scenes in my office with my team, building actually quite many companies and quite large companies for an entrepreneurial business. I was behind the scenes. I was pouring everything I had into becoming what would eventually become known as the fusion paradigm. And this fusion paradigm, it's not just a framework, right? It's really my life's work, and it's not just mine. It's for everybody. It's for all of us. It's the solution that I wish I'd had when I was at my lowest. And now it's what I get to share with other visionaries so that they can avoid the pain and misalignment that nearly broke me. This paradigm was not born out of convenience. It was born out of necessity. It was a necessity for me, for you, and for every single entrepreneur who knows that they're meant to change the world.